Good morning. Today I thought I would share with you my FTP effort. So over this week and next week I'm doing 4 separate tests to kind of figure out my power and calibrate all my training over winter to my current power. So today's effort is the 20-minute one, the most common FTP test. So I thought I would bring you along for it. So where I live, there are 2 climbs I could do, either Crag Vale or Dovestones. But I've looked at the weather because it is so windy. There's storms coming, so that's why I'm up early, because the wind gets worse as the morning goes on. So it's about 7:45 now, and I have to drive it, which is not great because sorry, I just had a long pause. The long point of me wanting to ride my bike is so that you don't have to use a car, but for this, I do need to drive to it, which is a little bit annoying, but what can you do? So I'm going to head out in a minute and get climbing, because I do way better power if I've actually got a gradient to push against, because I just love the hills. And so, the reason that I chose this one, because we looked at the weather for Crag and here, and Crag had a headwind the whole way, and even though power is power, there's something about a headwind, it almost just takes your breath. I just feel like I can't do it as well or as strongly as I can do it, and there's almost like a cross tailwind on Dovestone, so I'm like, of course I'm going to do the cross tailwind. But I think my total for this is probably going to be around 20 minutes. My best time was 21, and so this climb is starting to get a little bit too short for an FTP. So, I mean, I'm not complaining, it's good. But so I'm just going to head off now. I'm going to strap this to the front of my bike and get going. So, I get very excited and very nervous. It's one of my most fun things to do. I don't know why. It doesn't mean anything at all. It is just numbers and it's just riding a bike. But I don't know why I like it so much. Just putting some power down and getting some efforts out. I think it is that feeling of when you've done it, you just feel so pumped and so excited and just so exhausted, you've given everything. So I love that. Even if you don't want to do it to do an FTP, just go and do that, a 20-minute effort somewhere, just for the fun of it, because I promise you will really, really, you probably hate it through at the time, but afterwards you're just yes, that's so much fun, I love it. So let's go. Tie my base layer around my neck, and I realise it looks a bit like a cape. Maybe it just does from where I'm looking. Cycling superhero! I've not said this for a while, and I feel like I should say it again. I bloody love this bike so much. Well done, bike. You did good. I just think of all the amazing adventures that I've gone on this bike, and it just makes me so happy when I see it and just look at it. I'm going to give it a good old clean in a bit, I think. God, I sound like I'm talking to a baby. Oh my god. Woohoo! Best power, 280 watts. So I'm back, and actually it's not even the same day, it's 2 days after I did the ride, only because something went wrong with my Garmin. It just wouldn't connect, and basically it completely broke. So I've been trying to fix that, finally fixed it. The file is uploaded, so I've been able to kind of look at all the data, and obviously saw it on my Garmin anyway after the ride. So yes, my 20-minute effort was 280 watts, and my FDP is 266 watts, which means I'm 67 kilos roundabout. So that's just under 4 watts per kilo for that particular effort. So I'm quite pleased with that. Although I feel like I probably could have gone harder, but I'd really hurt my knees. So the day before I did the FDP, I was just walking through Manchester and with my mum actually, and just fell on my face. like actually fell onto the floor, bruised and scuffed all my knees. My knees were really big. I don't even know what happened. So I'm just walking along. Next thing I know, I'm just on the floor. My shoes, like, it was a Converse. I don't even know how that even like flew off so far, but it was like halfway down the road. So yeah, my knees were quite tender from that. So I don't feel like I could give it as 100% as I could have done if I was 100% okay. But yeah, I'm pleased with that. And so that's just going to set me up for my winter training. And actually, that is the most amount of power that I've ever done on the bike. I think my best ever FTP was, not FTP, but 20-minute effort was 278 watts, which was in 2016. But that was when I weighed maybe 10 or, I can't remember how much I weighed, maybe 10 kilos, 15 kilos heavier. So I've been able to increase my FTP while also dropping weight. So I'm quite pleased with that. I've also done an overlay of the data with the actual footage. So if you want me to do a separate video on that, just do like a bit of a commentary over it, then I can do if you are interested. But let me know in the comments, because I know some of you might be interested in the data, some of you are not interested in data at all. So if enough of you want me to do it, then I will do that separate video, because it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a 20-minute video. So if you want it, I shall do it. So yeah, I think that's it. If you've got any more questions about FTP or like testing, anything like that, then leave them in the comments below and I will answer them. Not that I'm an expert, but I can try and help. So that is it for this video, and I will see you in the next video. It's just gonna be like my thing now, just like a really terrible wink at the end of each video. I like it. Bye.